Hello, I am Pramod Kumar. Today we will study CBSE Class 12. The book name is Flamingo and the chapter is The Last Lesson, written by Alphonse Daudet. The story relates to during Franco-Prussian War of 1870-71, France having been defeated and Germany having captured their two districts, Alsace and Lorraine. That time France was led by Napoleon III and Prussia by Otto von Bismarck. The story starts like this. Franz is a little boy. He just started for his school from his home. Today he has to tell the teacher about participles. But he doesn't know anything about participles. He finds that the day is very warm, very bright. He likes the outside environment far more than going to the school and explaining participles to his teacher M. Hamel, who teaches them French. But he controls his temptation, goes ahead. When he comes near a town hall, he sees that there is a large crowd near the bulletin board. It's the same bulletin board on which over the last 2 years they have been getting all kinds of bad news, like France having lost some battles and conscription, means compulsory recruitment of people by the government for the army. The blacksmith tells him that no need to go so fast, you will be reaching school well in time. But Franz goes ahead. When he reaches school, he notices that it's very calm and quiet. Other days when he used to approach the school, he used to find a lot of commotion. Children will be talking, reciting their lessons loudly, and they will be pulling their benches, drawers, a lot of noise would be there. Today it was very calm and quiet, like a Sunday. He had thought that he will take support of some commotion, some loud noise, and enter the school. He was thinking that he has become late for the class. But he went inside. He was very afraid of his teacher, M. Hamel. But M. Hamel didn't tell him anything. He just told him, "Little Franz, we were going to start without you. Please sit down." He took his seat and sat down. When he sat down, he found that the class was unusually quiet and calm. When he turned his head back, he found that most of the time, back benches used to be vacant. But today, all of them were fully occupied. Several village people were sitting on the back benches, and all of them were looking very sad and very quiet. He couldn't make out what it is. He also found that his teacher M. Hamel was wearing his dress, which generally he used to wear on inspection days or on prize days. M. Hamel started. So he said, "Today is the last day for me to teach you French. Instructions have come from Berlin, Germany, that from tomorrow only German will be taught in these two districts of Alsace and Lorraine. So all of you need to be very attentive." Franz was totally wonderstruck. Now he realized why there was such a huge crowd near the bulletin board. This must have been the news there. So many people were there. Now he started feeling very bad for himself, that whenever the opportunity was there, he had not made use of the opportunity. On the contrary, he used to go and collect eggs and swim in the Saar river rather than learning French from M. Hamel. M. Hamel started teaching, and when Franz's turn came to recite participles, Franz stood up, but he was totally out of place. First, he didn't know what are participles. Second, He was totally disturbed by the events of today, knowing that from tomorrow there will be no French class here. This time also, M. Hamel didn't scold him for his not remembering participles. He said, "Don't worry, it's not only you who is to blame. All of us are to blame." M. Hamel then said, "Many a times parents have chosen to send their small kids for some work so that they can earn a penny. Some other times, I have sent you children for watering my plants, and at still other times, I have given you a day off whenever I wanted to go fishing." Then he makes a very good statement. That's the great trouble with Alcide. He puts off learning till tomorrow. Here he is indicating towards procrastination. It means pushing something for tomorrow which we should be doing today. Then when he stood and he was not able to narrate participles, French was thinking, I would have sacrificed anything and everything of mine if I was able to recite participles without any stop in between before M. Hamel. But it was not to be. Then the teacher said, from tomorrow they will tell us, you people call yourself Frenchmen, but you don't even know your mother tongue. And that will be very embarrassing for all of us. So now Franz knew everything, that why the back benches were full, why people were looking so sad and quiet and calm, why M. Hamel was wearing his special suit today, and why there was such a huge crowd near the bulletin board near the town hall. Then he started teaching grammar. This time, Franz found that he was able to understand each single thing that M. Hamel was teaching. After grammar, M. Hamel started teaching them history. That time also, Franz found himself to be very, very receptive and understanding almost everything that M. Hamel was trying to teach them. Franz found that M. Hamel, who had been teaching there for the last 40 years, was trying to give them everything that he had on that particular day, because next day German teacher was coming and M. Hamel had to leave that place after 40 years. So after that, Franz found that M. Hamel was looking very, very sad, quiet and calm, very dull. And he was looking towards wall without looking at anything. So towards the end of the class, M. Hamel gathered his courage, stood up and wrote on the board, "Vive la France, long live France." It shows the sense of patriotism in M. Hamel, who was very proud of his country and his language. And he said, "School is dismissed, you may go." And then he almost collapsed in his chair. M. Hamel was of the view that holding on to one's language is like you are holding on to key to your prison. If you are able to hold on to your language, it tantamounts to holding to a key to your prison. You may be able to get out of your imprisonment if you hold on to your mother tongue. So it shows his patriotism. But parents, students, and sometimes teachers also, they have not been serious in making the best use of the opportunities that have come before them. So this is the crux of this chapter. If you take care of certain things. You may be able to respond to each question in the chapter. First thing is, it was a Franco-Prussian war, and Prussia had captured Alsace and Lorraine districts of France. And today was the last day for the French teacher to teach French. From tomorrow, German teacher was coming and only German would be taught. It means linguistic chauvinism. The meaning of linguistic chauvinism is that I feel that my language is superior to the language of other people. So they are imposing their own language on French people. Constitution of India under Article 29 guarantees this freedom. People are free to choose their language and practice, preserve, protect and promote it. How do people preserve their language? Generally, you find, suppose some people from Bengal, they go to Tamil Nadu. What do they do to preserve their language? They will form a small groups of like-minded people, speak in their own language among themselves. They will keep on meeting periodically in their groups. They will issue a few pamphlets, small pamphlets. They may also issue some very small periodical newspapers or magazines, and that way they will practice, preserve, protect and promote their language, which M. Hamel calls, if you hold on to your language, it is akin to holding on to your key to prison. He is very proud of his nation and his language. I hope you got the crux of this chapter. In case of any difficulty, you can find my details toward the end of the video. I will be very happy to receive your queries for clarification or guidance on my email. You can also visit my website. The address will be there towards the end of the video. And all these chapters, this chapter is given there along with question and answer. I will be very happy to receive your feedback. Thank you.